The peace of a school day was shattered in Marion County, Florida on May 21, 2025. At Belleview High School, a 17-year-old student, Cameron Moiselle, made a dangerous decision. He brought a firearm onto the school campus. This act alone is enough to cause significant alarm among students, parents, and educators. Reports indicate that Moiselle had even shown the gun to other students the day before the discovery. This display further amplified the potential danger and the fear that such a weapon instills within a learning environment. The very presence of a firearm on school grounds fundamentally undermines the sense of safety that is essential for education to thrive. This incident serves as a sobering reminder of the potential threats that can emerge, even in places dedicated to learning and growth, prompting immediate concern and a demand for answers from the community. It is critically important for every parent and educator to understand that bringing a gun to school is unequivocally against the law. In Florida, this is clearly outlined in Florida Statute Section 790.115 from 2024. This statute strictly prohibits minors from possessing any firearm on school property. This includes not just the classrooms and hallways, but also the school grounds, parking lots, and any school-sponsored transportation like buses. The law is comprehensive, aiming to create a secure zone around educational institutions. These regulations are in place for a very direct and vital reason: to protect every student, teacher, and staff member. Schools are intended to be safe havens, places where young people can focus on learning and personal development without the specter of violence. Firearms introduce an unacceptable level of risk into these environments, and the law reflects this serious concern. The discovery of the weapon involved a sequence of events that highlights both the challenges and the importance of vigilance. Initially, Cameron Moiselle had reportedly hidden the firearm under a seat in his vehicle. A school resource deputy conducted an initial search of Moiselle and his car the following day, but the weapon was not found at that time. This was because Moiselle had already taken steps to move it, demonstrating an attempt to evade detection. The breakthrough came thanks to a courageous student who came forward with crucial information. This student revealed that Moiselle had wrapped the gun in a black t-shirt and discarded it in a wooded area near the school. Acting on this tip, a school resource officer followed a worn path leading from Moiselle's car into the woods, where the firearm was ultimately recovered, secured, and removed from the vicinity of the campus. The impact of an incident like this reverberates far beyond the immediate individuals involved. The discovery of a gun on a school campus sends waves of fear and anxiety throughout the entire school community. The learning environment is profoundly disrupted, as students may feel unsafe and find it difficult to concentrate on their studies. Teachers and staff members also experience significant stress, concern for their own safety and the well-being of the students under their care. Normal school routines are often interrupted by investigations, lockdowns, or other necessary safety protocols. Parents, understandably, grapple with deep worry about their children's safety while they are at school. Incidents of this nature starkly underscore the continuous and pressing need for vigilance and robust safety measures, reinforcing why strict rules against weapons on school property are absolutely essential for maintaining a secure educational setting. Once the critical tip about the gun's location in the woods was received by authorities, the response was both immediate and decisive. The school resource officer, armed with this new information, promptly proceeded to the wooded area described by the student informant. The firearm was quickly located, found wrapped in a t-shirt just as the student had reported. Following this recovery, school officials removed Cameron Moiselle from his classroom to address the situation. Reports indicate that Moiselle initially refused to answer questions from the authorities, a reaction that can sometimes occur when young individuals face serious accusations. However, it was later reported that he spontaneously admitted to bringing the weapon onto school property, a significant development in the unfolding investigation that confirmed his involvement in this dangerous act. Marion County Public Schools, like the vast majority of school districts across the nation, enforces what are known as zero-tolerance policies regarding weapons on campus. These policies are designed to send a clear message. Bringing a weapon to school will result in immediate and serious consequences. There is no room for leniency when the safety and security of students and staff are potentially compromised. The actions taken by Bellevue High School administrators, conducting searches involving law enforcement personnel, and removing the student from the general population were entirely consistent with these established zero-tolerance policies and also aligned with the mandates set forth by Florida state law. Law enforcement was notified without delay and played an integral role in the subsequent investigation. As a result, Moiselle was arrested and formally booked at the Marion County Jail before being transferred to the Department of Juvenile Justice, which is the standard procedure for handling cases involving minors. Bringing a firearm onto school property carries severe legal consequences, a fact that cannot be overstated. Cameron Moiselle's actions are a direct violation of Florida Statute Section 790.115, which specifically addresses and prohibits the possession of firearms on school grounds by minors. As a result of this violation, the student now faces formal juvenile proceedings. These proceedings in the juvenile justice system are distinct from the adult criminal court system. The potential outcomes for Moiselle could include a period of juvenile detention, as well as long-term restrictions on his ability to possess firearms in the future. During these proceedings, the court will typically consider a range of factors, such as the minor's age, level of maturity, and the specific circumstances surrounding the offense. It is also worth noting that the Supreme Court case Graham v. Florida from 2010 affirms the compelling interest of the government in preventing school violence and supports the constitutionality of strict juvenile firearm laws, provided due process is observed. The swift and decisive actions demonstrated by Belleview High School officials, in close coordination with the Marion County Sheriff's Office, were absolutely crucial in managing this alarming situation. This rapid response was instrumental in quickly neutralizing the immediate threat posed by the presence of a firearm. Furthermore, these actions served an important secondary purpose: to reassure students, their concerned parents, and the broader Bellevue community. The underlying message conveyed by this prompt response was unambiguous. The safety and well-being of every student remain the absolute top priority for both the school district and local law enforcement agencies. Such incidents are treated with the utmost seriousness, and authorities work diligently and collaboratively to enforce the laws and school policies designed to protect everyone on campus, thereby helping to maintain trust and a sense of security within the school environment. It has been reported that Cameron Moiselle, the student involved in the Bellevue High incident, may have exhibited certain behavioral warning signs prior to bringing the firearm to school. While the specific nature of these signs was not publicly detailed in the initial reports, their mere mention is significant for parents and educators alike. Behavioral warning signs can manifest in numerous ways. They might include noticeable changes such as increased social withdrawal, uncharacteristic displays of aggression, troubling statements made verbally or online, or a sudden decline in academic performance. This highlights a critical area of awareness: the importance of being observant and attuned to changes in a student's behavior or demeanor. Recognizing these shifts, whether subtle or more overt, can be the crucial first step towards intervention and preventing a potential crisis from escalating. The possibility of pre-incident warning signs underscores the profound importance of early behavioral intervention and comprehensive mental health support within our school systems. Educational institutions are increasingly acknowledging the critical need to have robust systems in place to support students' emotional and psychological well-being. Providing readily accessible counselors, school psychologists, and social workers directly on campus is a key component of this support structure. When students are grappling with emotional challenges, behavioral issues, or mental health concerns, they desperately need a safe, confidential, and supportive place to turn for help. Early intervention strategies can address the root causes of these struggles, potentially preventing problems from escalating into dangerous actions like bringing a weapon to school. This proactive approach involves fostering a school culture where seeking help is not only accepted, but actively encouraged and destigmatized for all students. Even when a student commits a serious offense, such as bringing a firearm onto school property, it is a fundamental principle of the American legal system that they retain certain rights. Every individual, including minors, is entitled to due process under the law. This principle was firmly established for juvenile offenders in the landmark United States Supreme Court case in Rigaud from 1967. Due process ensures that the student has the right to be clearly notified of the specific charges being brought against them. Furthermore, They have the right to legal counsel to represent their interests, the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses, and the crucial right against self-incrimination, meaning they cannot be forced to testify against themselves. School officials and law enforcement agencies are legally obligated to meticulously follow these established procedures to ensure fairness and justice throughout all disciplinary and legal proceedings involving a student. Navigating these situations requires a delicate and thoughtful balancing act from all parties involved. Schools bear a primary and solemn responsibility to ensure the safety and security of every student and staff member within their facilities. Disciplinary actions, such as those mandated by zero-tolerance policies for weapons, directly reflect this overriding commitment to safety. However, particularly when dealing with minors, the juvenile justice system also places a strong emphasis on the potential for rehabilitation. The objective extends beyond mere punishment. It also aims to help the young person understand the gravity and consequences of their actions, learn from their mistakes, and ultimately make better, more responsible choices in the future. This nuanced approach is guided by constitutional principles and strives for long-term positive change, carefully assessing the individual's unique circumstances and their capacity for reform and personal growth. The incident at Belleview High serves as an urgent and critical reminder for school leaders everywhere to continuously evaluate, adapt, and enhance their existing safety measures. Creating truly safe schools requires comprehensive strategies that are multifaceted and proactive. These strategies must effectively combine physical security enhancements with robust preventative support systems for students. Physical security measures can include elements such as controlled access points at school entrances, comprehensive surveillance camera systems, and, in some cases, the implementation of metal detectors, always considering the specific needs and consensus of the local school community. Crucially, ongoing and thorough training for all staff members is paramount. Teachers, administrators, and support staff must be well prepared to recognize potential threats and respond effectively and calmly during emergencies. Equally important are systems that encourage students and staff to report concerns, such as anonymous tip lines, which proved instrumental in the Bellevue High case. Schools cannot and should not be expected to ensure campus safety in isolation. Strong collaborative partnerships are absolutely essential for creating and maintaining a secure learning environment for all. A fundamental component of this collaborative approach is a close working relationship with local law enforcement agencies, including the dedicated school resource officers or SROs who are often stationed on campuses. These officers not only provide an immediate security presence but also work to build positive relationships with students and can respond rapidly to any emerging threats. Furthermore, partnerships with mental health providers and agencies are becoming increasingly vital. These professionals can offer specialized services to students in need, help address underlying emotional or behavioral issues, and provide valuable support and resources to school counseling staff, thereby strengthening the school's capacity to care for its students. Beyond the implementation of physical security measures and external partnerships, cultivating a positive, inclusive, and supportive school culture is an incredibly powerful tool for prevention. This involves a deliberate and sustained effort to prioritize social-emotional learning, or SEL, for every student. Comprehensive SEL programs equip students with invaluable life skills such as empathy, self-awareness, responsible decision-making, effective communication, and constructive conflict resolution. When students feel genuinely connected to their school community, respected by their peers and by the adults around them, and believe they have a voice, they are significantly less likely to engage in harmful or violent behaviors. Training staff to recognize early warning signs of distress or potential trouble in students and to respond with appropriate support rather than solely with discipline is also a key aspect of fostering this positive cultural shift within a school. Ultimately, preventing incidents like the one that unfolded at Bellevue High School and ensuring the long-term safety of our educational institutions requires a dedicated and unified whole-community approach. This is not a responsibility that rests solely on the shoulders of school administrators or law enforcement personnel. Instead, it demands active participation and collaboration from parents, students, educators, law enforcement agencies, mental health professionals, and community leaders all working in concert. This collective effort involves fostering open and honest dialogue about school safety, promoting responsible practices regarding firearm storage in homes where guns are present, and consistently reinforcing the importance of reporting any and all safety concerns. Engaging students as active partners in creating and maintaining a safe school environment can be particularly powerful, empowering them to take ownership of their community's well-being.